So they are tweets of me saying like dumb slurs or things like that when I was like 13, and I've talked about this before, but I really want to talk about it again.
Is TANA MONGEAU a racist? Hi, how are you? I hope you're having a really good day so far. Don't mind these glasses, they were just sent to me by two of my friends. Thank you so much for my birthday present. Can you imagine? There has been a pandemic, an epidemic spreading across the internet for the past week or two. I've seen hashtags sweeping across Twitter like a plague. I think it was like TANA MONGEAU goodbye party or like TANA MONGEAU end party. It was very, very savage. And of course I had to do my own little investigation to see what this was all about. It turns out that this is all about some historical tweets that Tana posted a few years ago. If any of you don't know who Tana is, let me give you an introduction. TANA MONGEAU is a YouTuber from Las Vegas, America. She's 18 years old and a birth sign. I can't remember a birth sign. I don't think it's the same as mine though, because we're quite different. So basically what's happened is these tweets have surfaced from 3 to 4 years ago, and these tweets incorporate the N-word, which has obviously sent shockwaves through the whole of Twitter. However, the thing that makes this controversial is there are many sides of this argument. So of course I'm going to give you all the evidence and you can make your mind up. And of course, please tell me down below what you're thinking. Even live tweet me, like live comment down below like what you're thinking as we go through the video, because I'm going to be sat reading the comments when I post it. I'm so extra like that. I'm like cheering everyone on that's commenting. I'm like, yes! It's really sad. Anyway, so the basic timeline of events. This happened a few years ago, and a few days ago, Tana took to a live stream where she basically spoke about lots of different things that were happening to keep her subscribers up to date, which I think is very good. It's what I'd like to do as well with my friends. Like if anything ever happens, I always say I have my second channel and I'll always, you know, chat whatever's happening there. So she went to this live stream, and one of the things that she mentioned was that these tweets had surfaced, and she said that she wasn't racist. She said that she'd had Black Lives Matter as her Twitter name for a very long time, which is obviously controversial because a lot of people were thinking like, why don't white lives matter? And then it was almost like a miscommunication, because what it actually meant was Black Lives Matter the same amount as white lives. Not so much Black lives are the only ones that matter, but it was more because police brutality was being shown to be against a lot of black people, which is obviously so bad. So anyway, moving on from that controversial topic, here is the Snapchat footage of TANA MONGEAU going off all the way on Snapchat.
Hi guys, I addressed this on YouNow earlier, but I want to address it on my Snapchat really quick, and I have addressed this before in the past a few times actually, but I want to address it again for anybody who doesn't know or hasn't heard. So they are tweets of me saying like dumb slurs or things like that when I was like 13, and I've talked about this before, but I really want to talk about it again. Please share this if you care. Growing up in Vegas, everybody said those words, and I didn't even know that they were considered racist at all. They were in rap songs, and I totally thought it just meant like homie or like friend, and I was like so dumb. And when I look back to those times, I regret it so much. But it's hard to be filled with regret because I was just ignorant and uninformed. My parents never said anything. No one ever told me until like 4 years later when people were like, hey, these are racist. And I was like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, it's in every rap song. Like, Mac Miller says that he's white. Like, why? And I was totally misinformed. And then I realized it was, and I never said it again. And I apologize. And I will gladly own up to anything I've done, which I think a lot of YouTubers, when they get called out for things, I don't think that's a good look. If you did something and you are different and you've changed from it and you're not that person anymore, you should own up to it instead of just moving on and pretending like it never happened. That's not. And so even though I can honestly say I was 100% unaware of the fact that it was wrong, I still did it. And I'm sorry. And now I am such a huge advocate for anti-racism and black. And I'm so thankful that I did not live the rest of my life being ignorant, and that I have this platform to advocate for things like racism. And if you are racist, unfollow me. And I just hope that people can understand that I was just 12, 13, an idiot, and didn't know any better. And all my friends were saying it, and they still say it to this day, and like think it's cool. And that's also with anything, like how like 5 years ago nobody thought about the fact that it was wrong to be like, oh my god, I hate that movie, it's gay, and now they know that it's wrong to say things like that. We learn, and we're all about helping people who maybe don't know, and all coming together to be activists for the same thing, to actually see change. So I love you guys a lot. Thank you for saying.
And I completely understand why she's done this. I do think that you have to nip the nail in the bud. Nail in the bud? That is definitely not the right phrase. But do you see what I mean though? Like, it's one of those things where it could like chew away at your career. I mean, we all know, I won't use any names, but we all know someone that hasn't apologised yet for being extremely racist. This is one of the things that I think we should look into though. Okay, why don't we first of all look at the tweets? Okay, here are the tweets. The thing that gets me with these tweets, okay, is I'll always go over the top, like I'm so extra with my research, I like to know everything. I've already seen all of these tweets, and there's a lot more tweets than this but I have seen a lot of controversial stuff which has been removed from her Twitter, and I think 1 or 2 things from Instagram as well. However, when I started my investigation and I made my first 2 videos, I didn't mention any of those things because I don't really know of her well enough to judge whether or not, you know, she'd changed or she'd not changed. Like, I wasn't going to mention it just for the sake of it, because that's tacky. Like, I'll never just like use evidence against someone. Like, I have to have a reason. So there was no reason here. Like, I didn't really know enough about her. Okay, so I have my own personal small experience. So let's look at what's happened. We have all seen these inappropriate tweets which have incorporated the N word, okay? I have two feelings about this, and this is me giving you kind of what I know. Obviously, what has been done here is not correct, it's not right. There's not really a time when that word should be used. I know there's a thing about within inside communities, whatever, that's like niche. However, you saw the video of Tana basically saying that she grew up, you know, she was in a very sort of like sheltered, not sheltered, but everyone around her was using that word casually, and there was white people, there was brown people, there was black people, there was every type of person using that word in Las Vegas, from what she says. I'm obviously not from Las Vegas, so I can't confirm this, and it's very hard to do research into the words that people use in a specific state. Is Las Vegas a state? I think it is. Or is it just a city? Oh my god, that's so embarrassing. Geography, hi! Anyway, he needs some milk. I actually do need some milk. From the perspective of an outsider, looking at the situation, is that this girl was very young when she posted the tweets, and I think we've all done silly things when we've been younger, and I don't want anyone to think that I'm arse-licking Tana in this video, because if you literally watch my last two videos, so that you've been investigating her, so evidently not. But in this instance, from the initial perspective, what she's saying does make sense about them not being malicious, and it's not attacking racism. Like, we've all seen the videos of Jeffree Star online, which he hasn't yet commented on as far as I'm aware, which we've already covered and exhausted. I'm tired of that topic, where he's in the street yelling, "You're an N-B-I-T-C-H," I can't even say the words, at a woman repeatedly, etc., and talking about throwing battery acid on someone's skin. I told you I don't really have hate towards Jeffree. I've apologised for the first comment I made about him because it wasn't me, and I've also made it very public that if he was wanting to reach out to me, I would have a private conversation with him, as I do with anyone that wants a private conversation. You know, my DMs are open, etc. So to me, these tweets didn't look malicious. Some of them were like, ooh, but like, I think it was more like, to me, it seems more like a 14-year-old trying to be cool or a 15-year-old trying to be cool. I'm going to put the age of how old she was, I'll work it out. That's what it seems like. Oh my god, my teeth. However, this is where I have to put the counter argument together, and this is where I think the John Cookian perspective comes in. Obviously, what I've said I think is completely valid. My teeth, oh my god. By the way, I literally just shaved my head, there's hair all over the floor, and then I got in the shower, that's why my hair's all wet, so I'm sorry. By the way, did you see my last video about Carly Bible? I did like this really funny tutorial. I really enjoyed it. Thank you for letting me make a silly video. And also, there's a picture on my Instagram if you want to go and see it. Sorry, I get so sidetracked. My take on the situation, okay, this is from my own sort of what I've seen. When Tana did an interview with He Who Shall Not Be Named, everyone obviously saw the interview and people were very, very upset because of how badly it was conducted, both because it was biased and because it was terrible quality. And I didn't send anyone to go and comment on that. I didn't say anything about it. That was mutual subscribers that were very angry with the behaviour. I've never told anyone who they can and can't be friends with, who they can and can't subscribe to, what they can and can't post on their channel. That's not for me to say, and I'll never try and do that. Like, it's not me, and it honestly cringes me so much when people try and do that, so no. However, one thing I did catch in this interview that she did with Sanders was Sanders asked the question which I brought up in one of my videos, which I'll link down below, Tana Mongeau investigation, basically saying she showed to the screen her phone saying it's a scary story that she received by email from this guy, and it said like something to do with her blue eyes, but when she read it out she said blue-green eyes. Now, if Tana, when asked the question about that, had said it was a mistake on my part while I was reading, it was a mistake, I was exaggerating as I was speaking, and it was a very small minor error, and I do apologise. To me, it seems like she kind of turned it into a little bit of a lie, because she said to Sanders, oh, he sent me two versions of the email, and I was, you know, one of the emails had blue eyes and one of them was more specific to me with the blue-green eyes. Now, we've already investigated and found out that this guy sent this email to a lot of different people at the same time. Hannah was not the only one. It was like a group sort of thing to a lot of different people on YouTube to try and scare them. You know, I investigate, and someone else already asked the question, which I managed to get my hands on in the DMs. Someone managed to ask this guy if he'd posted two versions, and he said point blank no. To me, I don't see a reason why he would send 50 versions of this email to everyone but then send another version to Tana. It didn't really make sense, and there was no evidence supplied. So to me, it seems like a white lie. It seems like fabrication, and I just don't get why you would fabricate. I personally, in that situation, would just own up. I'd be like, I exaggerated, I was dramatic, I'm sorry, it's my personality. It does kind of make me feel a bit like careful with my trust, because when we look at things like this, she has a very valid argument saying that she's been very supportive of Black Lives Matter, she's been very this, she's been very that, but there's a lot of other YouTubers that we've also seen have been very supportive of Black Lives Matter that we know have been extremely racist and behind closed doors do have racist issues. I'm not suggesting that's Tana. I don't know Tana well enough. My investigation that I've done into her does not centre around her personal behaviour around racism and homophobia or anything like that. As far as I'm aware, she's very accepting, she's very loving, and she's very open with her following about being loving to all races, which I think is fantastic. But it's just something I have to put out there. I can't say from 110% if I know that this is true, because people obviously have to live up to a public image. This whole thing with Tana is very complicated, and this is why my videos take a long time, because I like to really make sure I have all the research, and then it takes me a while to construct it, because I don't like to not be able to to give you some form of conclusion. What she was saying was wrong. Do I think that she is a deep-rooted racist that has an issue with people of colour? Personally, I don't think that. When I've seen pictures of her with fans of different colour, you don't see her cringing out and being a bit like, You've never heard of any sob stories or horror stories like the things that we've covered with Patrick Starr very recently in my interview with Spiffy. Thank you so much for all the support on that, by the way. I'm so glad you enjoyed it, etc. You know, but for me personally, I haven't seen any hints, but obviously I'll keep my eyes open. If you see anything, please get in contact with me. So I suppose the final conclusion from this video is TANA Mongeau a racist? No one knows. You decide. Oh my god, that was so exciting. I love doing that. By the way, can we just take a moment for my background, because I'm so happy and proud of it. I have 1,000 likes. I give it probably 4 days or 5 days before like everyone on YouTube just plagiarizes me. Not everyone, but like, you know what I mean, like those people. They'll just be sat there like, oh my god guys, I just fancied a change. It was like, no, you were embarrassed because I earn a lot less money than you, but my setup is so much nicer. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Money can't buy you class. Enjoy the last video of Carly Bible. Enjoy the interview. I love you so much. I hope you enjoyed. If there's anything you want me to comment on, leave it down below. Let me know what you think down below. My investigation continues. Of course, please do not send any negativity to any of these people. Like, that's not what we're sat here for. Like, I don't even need to say that because like Cookie Fam, like you've been so supportive. Like every time something's happened, you never go to the person that people are saying negative things about. You always go to the person that you think is the victim and give them support. And I really appreciate the fact that that's what you do. Like, that's really what our foundation is built on. So that makes me very, very happy because it's like, it's me as well. So you're all sweethearts. Thank you. I love you to pieces so much, and I'm so excited to spend December with you guys. The blue has shattered. How am I supposed to palette snap? Can you see that? Look at that. In the Carly video you'll see. I'm scared it's gonna like blast in my eye. What colour should I dye my hair, by the way? Because I just cut out the last bit of blue pretty much, so I don't know what colour to do it now. Anyway, I'll see you later. I love you so much. Bye 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 bye. Hey cuties. Bye.